So one of our listeners sent us an email. It was titled Sperm Stories. So I feel like there's a lot of those. Okay. Goes, hey guys, absolutely love your podcast. Looking forward to listening to it every week. In regards to a semen-related story, the best one I have, because we were discussing semen stories, because actually, before I get into that, there was a vet that I was talking to, because I don't know anything about large animals, like cows, horses, any of that stuff. And we were learning that for cows and horses, there's usually like a machine that you use to put over the animal's dick, and it triggers them to ejaculate and so forth.
Yeah.
And if the bull hasn't ejaculated for a long time and you look at the sperm under a microscope, you can see they're kind of dud sperm, like Homer Simpson sperm, like just bumping into each other. And one of the professors was like, oh, that's what we call a rusty load. I just love that it's called a rusty load. Anyway, so we were discussing that on one of the episodes, and this person's emailed us and gone, in regards to a semen-related story, the best one I have is in relation to the first AI I was ever part of, artificial insemination. I was a new grad vet, and one of my colleagues decided to take me into her AI appointment to show me how it's all done.
That's when it's like you're trying to get an animal pregnant.
Yes. So
without
like
intercourse.
Yes. So bulldogs, any of your sort of smushed in face dogs.
Yeah.
They're just a genetic fuck up. I don't really understand why people want them as pets. They cannot, for the most part, especially bulldogs, reproduce naturally.
Okay.
So they can't mount the female. They can't insert their dick. It's just too much of a whole thing. And so in large animals is a machine. But in small animals like dogs.
It's more hands-on.
Oh, it's very hands-on.
Oh,
there is no machine, my friend.
So you got to do
yes.
both the... Okay.
You have to jerk off dogs. Okay.
Yes.
It's like the first time I had to jerk off a dog first time I had to jerk off a dog was a bulldog named what's his name? Bruno?
Oh my God.
And
the fact that you know his name is
hey, look, it's a personal moment.
Yeah.
So the worst part was I was still a nursing student.
Have you gotten faster at it?
My wrists are quite strong. I won't lie. To be honest, I haven't done that many because one, I run away from it whenever I see on the schedule. Two, I never really worked at a reproductive clinic. I always worked in emergency or like specialty surgery. So my specialty is in anesthesia. So I'm dealing with like broken bones, thoracotomies, like big surgeries. I'm not jerking off dogs. But while I was a vet nursing student, vet tech student, there was maybe like 16 of us in the class, and one of the teachers there owned Bruno the bulldog. He's like, all right, ladies, we're going to learn how to jerk off a dog. And I was like, oh God. And we all had to take a turn. So you have like a little fling and then the next person goes, and then it's like the worst. What's that fucking game where you're opening like present and the present gets smaller? Pass the parcel. Do you have that?
No, it just made me think of the Russian nesting doll. Though.
Right.
Yeah.
But the poor unlucky fucker at the end has to finish the dog off. So you want to put your hand up first.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. So It's like hot potato.
Oh, yeah. Very much so.
Yeah.
Right. But with a dog dick.
Yeah.
And so one of the girls thought it'd be really funny if they put like Barry White on in the background. So we've got Barry White playing in the background. There's 16 of us nurses just, I don't want to touch this dog's dick. Okay, we got to do it. Okay. And so we're all taking turns, and you have to.
This is like heaven, right, for the dog?
The dog is standing on this thing, what we call a bitch mat, not my bed.
Oh, that's the thing that like
smells like the female dog. It's got all the pheromones to make the dog excited. So the dog is just like losing its shit on the mat.
Yeah.
His dick's out. And you just got to take that thing home, right? So I feel like we're learning.
No, it's your dog snort noise is so on point. Like it took my breath away for a second there.
That's how I seduce men. So anyway, I'm jerking off the dog. That's also how I seduce men. So we all take turns, and it has to go into a cup. And then after it goes into the cup, you suck it up with a syringe. And then it goes into like this sort of straw thing that goes into the female and has to like go into the vagina, and then she accepts the sperm, and then you hope.
I can't wait to watch my facial expressions on like I feel like I'm just
Okay, and I've simplified it. Anyway, so we've talked about this story on the pod, and this person's emailed us telling us their first experience of artificial insemination. So I continue. Like the ever-attentive vet, I watched everything up close and personal to ensure I didn't miss a thing. The vet succeeded in getting the sample. It's a nice way of saying the dog finished.
yeah.
And then was preparing to inseminate the bitch. The insemination straw we used was a firmish plastic material, and in the vet goes explaining all the while. I'm standing right behind the bitch to get the best look at exactly how everything's done. The vet explains that she likes to put a bit of a bend on the straw at the end to try and stop too much backflow and leakage. And at that moment, the insemination straw fills with dog jizz, snaps, and a shard of it flies in my eyeball and gives me a corneal ulcer. Trying to be as professional as we could, the head vet takes care of the dog, and I blindly feel for the door with tears and jizz streaming down my face. Dominique. That's just one of the emails.
Has that happened to you?
God, no.